Good morning, students. Hi, I really hope that you are fine. Um, in this TEFL course, I would like to talk about several teaching strategies to teach English. However, to start our semester, I would like to talk about the languages, as lingua franca. In this pandemic situation, I really hope I can facilitate the learning. So I try to pull out any possibility to learn. One of them is the use of this screen recording video to make sure that you understand what is actually mentioned or explained in the PowerPoint. So let's begin this first topic. So if you think that English was always or is always becoming the lingua franca, the international language of the world, you are wrong. Because at the beginning it was not English. Yeah. The lingua franca of the world was actually medieval Latin, or the Latin language. It was around in the Middle Ages, around the 5th until 15th century. Medieval Latin primarily used as a scholarly exchange. So this is the interaction where people study books about science, when people talk or present their ideas about literature or law, when they do interaction on certain administration business. So like when you are going to the bank and then asking about what to do what, it's all spoken, all people speak medieval Latin, so that's why it's called scholarly exchange. And during the Germanic invasion, people bring their own dialect, into the Latin. So this is how Latin broke out into its various dialects of French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. But medieval Latin was not used as lingua franca for so long because around the 8th until 9th century, there was Italian language which replaced medieval Latin. Dante was actually the person who is credited with inventing the Italian language. Starting in the late medieval times, it is the time where Italian language replaced Latin and becomes so popular and used by so many people in Europe. One of the factors that influenced this situation or this changing, is because the Italian banking was so strong, the strength of Italian banking and the rise of humanism in the arts becoming one factors why Italian becoming or replacing medieval Latin. And then what happened to medieval Latin after that? Medieval Latin became a dead language. So it is called dead because no more people speak that language. There were no authentic living people who could serve as a model for its phonetically correct pronunciation. So it's become dead language. And then there was some linguists here you see in the slide, William Fetter, Henry Sweet, and Daniel Jones, who created the International Phonetic Alphabet for the phonetic description of sounds in different languages. But this is for the language to make sure that language has a phonetic description. So I would like to talk later and now about the lingua franca. So probably you would like to know what is actually meant by lingua franca. The term lingua franca was first used during the Middle Ages and described a language created as a combination of French and Italian that was developed by the Crusaders and tradesmen in the Mediterranean. So, in a short, lingua franca is actually a common language that is agreed to be used by people who speak different language. So it is a universal language. In former European colonies, some common lingua franca languages include English, French, and Portuguese. the most common lingua franca in Africa today is Swahili. So in Africa there is Swahili as lingua franca. Yeah. So after Italian, yeah, there was French that becoming the lingua franca, yeah, from the 17th century until its recent replacement by English. So if you see from the slide, so you can learn that it was medieval Latin, the first lingua franca, and then replaced by Italian, and in the 17th century there was French, and then later French will be replaced by English. Yeah. So French, for many years until the accession of the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Denmark in 1973, French and German were the only official working languages of the European Economic Community. So you see how the factor or how economic factor really influence which languages, yeah, or which language can grow optimally. Like when Italian replacing what is it, medieval Latin, it was because the Italian banking was become so strong. And now French also replacing Italian because all people in European economic community speak French. Yeah. So economic factor is really influencing the use of language. Yeah. So let's talk about English. So after French, English becoming the lingua franca. Yeah, English was actually the language of small island people. Yeah, it grew from a number of roots and incorporated words and grammar from various languages and language groups. So English is derived from so many languages. Yeah, so many languages. English widespread started when the Pilgrim Fathers, early European settlers of the Plymouth colony, landed on Massachusetts coast in 1620, and brought English with them after the journey from Plymouth, England. Yeah. So in Australia, around 1788, British convict and their guardian bring English too. So you know that Australian was actually inhabited with in a convict, narapidana gitu ya, and the guardian. So these people bring English into Australian and Australian people start speaking English. In India, English became the administrative language to maintain colonizer power. Yeah. So again, English was used in so many places in the world. Yeah. English spread is predominantly the result of the extended reach of British colonial ambition. So it was the colonial factors. If you see, learn about the economic factors now with the colonial factors. Yeah, the way people try to get other country ya to be their own ya. Jadi kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia itu penjajahan. Jadi faktor penjajahan juga merupakan faktor why language is used ya. Nah ini dia. The factors of English widespread ya. Ada colonial factors, ada economics ya. Ada information exchange because people want to exchange information. Ada travel, yeah, because one destination or tourism destination was so famous, then people would like to learn about their language. Yeah, ada juga popular culture, like now that people would really want to learn, like in teenager, yeah, that I know, want to learn about Korean language because the K-pop popular culture, yeah. This is one example how popular culture make people want to learn the language. Yeah, all right. English as lingua franca or international communication. So, English now is not used by its native speaker only. Yeah, Kachru even predict that by the year of 2000, yeah, its non-native speaker will outnumber its native speaker. Jadi jumlah dari orang yang non-native itu akan melebihi dari jumlah yang native, ya. Itu prediksinya Kachru di sini, ya, seorang linguis dari India. Ternyata memang benar, ya. Seperempat of world population itu speak English, ya. Nah, the effect of English. Jadi, I think not everyone see the growth of English as desirable, or not everyone happy. Yeah, some few learners and non-native speakers of English are victims of linguist and cultural imperialism. Some says people learn English out of choice. Yeah. Some concerns on the language death. As more and more people speak English, languages will gradually be lost. The loss of a language takes with it its culture, yeah, custom, and the way it sees the world through its use of metaphor, idiom, and grammatical structuring. Some also think positively that languages may have successful survival when there is still a viable community with its own social and cultural identity to keep a language alive. So there is a very obvious example. If you know Malaysia now, most of people, Malaysian people, they speak English. Like, like people who speak Malaysian or Malay, yeah, now is seen as uneducated people. So because they don't want to be seen or considered as uneducated, non-intellectual people, they don't want to speak Malay. Yeah, they prefer to speak English all the time. So this is how actually the effect of English to some native language like Malaysia. So Malaysia, if Malaysian people keep on using English, I can see that there is a possibility Malaysian become like what medieval Latin happened. Yeah. So Katru have this question, or maybe people or you have this question: how good at the language someone has to be before we can say they are a real speaker of English? Yeah. So, because now English as a global language, English is not anymore, like belong or possessed by American or Australian or UK. Yeah, it is a global language. Like all people in the world, they all speak English. Yeah. So Catchru has this circle. I think you know this circle. There is an inner circle in the middle, yeah, and then outer circle, and then expanding circle. So in the inner circle is the part where the countries, yeah, where people, the native speaker, yeah, USA, UK, Australia is the example, and the outer circle is the second language countries. Yeah, so English as a second language there, like India, like Singapore, like Philippines. Yeah, and then the expanding circle is the countries where people speak English as a foreign language, like us, like China, Russia, Thailand, and Indonesia. Yeah. So Kachru defined English as a global language like this, that there is an inner circle, outer circle, and expanding circle. There is also a new term called World English. Yeah, belongs to everyone who speak it, but it is nobody's mother tongue. Yeah, World English, ya, dikatakan dipakai oleh banyak orang, oleh semua orang, tetapi English secara tidak langsung bukanlah mother tongue dari siapapun gitu ya. Kemudian we all, ya, native speaker or non-native speaker, own English together, yeah, in a kind of international shareholder democracy. Thus, we have equal right as English user. The speakers of world English is capable of dealing with wider range of English varieties than someone stuck with native speakers' attitudes and competence. Yeah, so you see here that all people learn about English. That there is one term called world Englishes. because there is Franglish, Wenglish, Black English, Spanglish, Nigerian Pidgin, Hinglish, Singlish, Singlish, Singaporean English, and Chinglish. Yeah. So Kachru proposed a new circle diagram. So where language affiliation or ethnicity is less important than speaker's proficiency. So he makes a distinction between inner core and everyone else, but outside that inner core. Yeah, the main difference is between high and low proficiency. Yeah. So, jadi kalau sebelumnya dia punya inner, outer, and expanding circle, now Kachru comes up with another idea, a new circle diagram. Yeah, there is only inner circle, high proficiency, and low proficiency. Yeah, why Kachru see this? Because people who speak English, although they are coming from second language country or English as second language countries, yeah, they may have lower proficiency rather than people who come from countries who learn in expanding circle, yeah, who learn English as a foreign language. So now what make it different is the proficiency, ya. Jadi belum tentu orang yang berasal dari ESL countries itu lebih pandai dari EFL countries. That's why Kachru think that this circle need to be modified, ya. Jadi yang ada sekarang kategorinya adalah inner circle, high proficiency, and low proficiency. Ya, ada beberapa terminologies, ya. English for specific purposes, ada academic purposes, English as a second language, English as a foreign language, ada juga English as lingua franca, ya. What kind of English to teach at the age of ELF? Yeah. Debate between teaching English based on native speaker variety and teaching English as world Englishes is still an issue. Yeah. Vicky Kuo, 2006. Yeah. Defines teaching English based on native speaker standard, yeah, to maintain accuracy and appropriacy. But Jennifer Jenkins said that instead of conforming to a native standard, learners need to learn not English, but about Englishes. Yeah, their similarities and differences, issues involved in intelligibility, the strong link between language and identity. So, in short, we should avoid idiomatic use. Ya. Jadi ini ada debat. Jadi kalau Vicky Kuo bilang ajarkan bahasa Inggris sebagaimana native speaker standar, pronunciation-nya harus native like, ya, all the things harus native like. Tetapi Jennifer Jenkins bilang daripada mengajarkan bahasa Inggris dengan native standard, let learners know that now English has a wide variety, ya, bahwa there is similarities and differences. Jadi jangan terlalu terpaku pada native standard. So there is a debate, ya. This is history of language teaching. So if you see the way English or language was taught is very different, yeah. If you see in the ancient time, yeah, in the second dot, yeah, Latin and Greek, yeah, were not being taught for oral communication, yeah. Jadi tidak untuk ngomong, yeah, but for the sake of speakers becoming scholarly, yeah, or creating an illusion of sophistication. It is important to study Bible and legal documents. Jadi ketika itu untuk mempelajari dokumen-dokumen, jadi bukan untuk keperluan bisa ngomong, ya. So at the time, it was very important to focus on grammatical rules, syntactic structures, and rote memorization. Jadi di ancient time, orang belajar bahasa itu lewat pembelajaran grammar, ya. Fokusnya itu belajar grammar. Karena tujuannya tidak untuk ngomong, tapi tujuannya untuk mempelajari Bible, untuk mempelajari buku-buku gitu, ya. Nah, if you see here, history of ESL method, itu pertama kali itu ada GTM, Grammar Translation Method, di mana segalanya itu ditranslasikan, diterjemahkan gitu ya. Setiap ngomong diterjemahkan. And the focus is on grammar, as the name suggests, Grammar Translation Method. Ya. And there is also direct method, there is also reading method, audiolingual, and you see total physical response, suggestive idea, and along the way, silent way, natural approach, communicative approach, and TPR, storytelling. Yeah. So yeah, the classical method came to be known as grammar translation method. Itu di sekitar abad ke-17, 18, 19 itu menggunakan GTM ya, grammar translation method. Jadi, if you see in the slide, so in the grammar translation, the emphasis is on the learning to read and write. It's on grammatical rules, ya. Vocabulary is taught in the form of list of isolated words. Itu maksudnya adalah anak-anak silakan pelajari 15 kosakata ini dalam sehari, besok ibu tes. Itu maksudnya. Jadi tidak dalam kalimat, tidak dimasukkan dalam sebuah konteks kata-katanya, tapi sebuah daftar kata-kata yang harus dipelajari ya. Kemudian menggunakan medium of instruction, itu instruksi di kelas itu semuanya menggunakan mother tongue, atau kalau di konteks kita menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Jadi the first language becoming the medium of instruction ya. Alright. Nah, apa lagi? Kemudian ada keinginan ya untuk melihat kemampuan seseorang dalam berbicara bahasa asing ya. Ada reformasi besar-besaran dalam pembelajaran bahasa ya. The three reformers itu orang-orang yang ingin menggerakkan arah pembelajaran sedikit berbeda, tidak lagi belajar grammar tapi belajar how to use the language ya. Itu ada Seymour, Marcel, ada Vigen, ada Pendergast ya. Nah, orang-orang ini ingin mengubah pola pandang pengajaran bahasa ya, that the importance of understanding meaning in the language, bahwa lebih penting mengajarkan makna dibandingkan mengajarkan struktur gitu ya. Oke. Kemudian ada Sherry's method ya. Jadi the method that taught learners directly, jadi without translation, and conceptually, without grammatical rules and explanation. Ya. Nah, kemudian di sini dikasih contoh, I stretch out my arm. I take hold of the handle. I open the door. I pull the door. Ya. Jadi gurunya mengajarkan ini dengan connected sentences, dengan kalimat-kalimat yang secara konteks berhubungan ya. Ini kan susunan gerakan orang mau membuka pintu ya. I stretch out my arm. I take hold of the handle. I open the door. I pull the door. Ya, makanya disebut series method. Jadi berdasarkan konteks. Kemudian ada juga direct method. Ya, direct method itu adalah pengajaran second language learning that is similar to first language learning. Jadi penekanannya itu adalah dalam oral interaction, the spontaneous use of language, there was no translation ya, little if any analysis of grammatical rules and structure. So direct method. This is apple gitu, langsung ada apple gitu ya, langsung tanpa ada terjemahan. Ada juga situational language teaching ya. Procedure, ada pronunciation, revision, presentation of new structure, vocabulary ya. Ada juga error correction ya. Accuracy, if highly valued, error must be avoided at all costs ya. Artinya ketika situational language teaching era ya, anak-anak tidak boleh melakukan kesalahan ya. Anak-anak harus benar ya. Teacher does not correct ya, he gets students correct themselves or each other. Jadi bukan guru yang memperbaiki kesalahan. Kemudian ada juga era audiolingual method. Ya, it is an oral based approach ya. Jadi ada banyak drilling. Kalau audiolingual method itu cirinya adalah drilling ya. The use of grammatical sentence pattern ya. Jadi ini disebabkan dari behavioral psychology dari Skinner ya, di mana Skinner believe bahwa siswa harus dikondisikan ya helping learners to respond correctly to stimuli through shaping and reinforcement. Jadi ada reinforcement, ada habit formation, ya. Jadi dia mendrilling siswa untuk belajar grammar, ya. Misalnya model-model seperti ini. Please repeat after me. I am standing. Repeat after me. Siswa kemudian bilang, I am standing. Now I change. She. And siswa repeat, she is standing. The teacher say again, we are standing. Yeah, it's like the way how audiolingual method is used. Yeah. Kemudian ada juga total physical response. As the name itu ada total physical, ada responnya dari physical. Jadi the students give response with the whole body action, ya. It is so popular with beginners and with young learners, ya. For example, like touch my nose, jump now, jump, ya. The total physical response, ya. Jadi there is a coordination between speech and action, ya. So learners role a listener and performer. Jadi anak-anak mendengar kemudian perform, ya. Guru memberikan instruksi. Listen, watch, imitate, gitu ya. Kemudian ada suggestopedia. Suggestopedia itu adalah menggunakan suggestive factors in learning situation. Salah satu hal yang terkenal dari suggestopedia yaitu menggunakan musik, ya, musical background untuk membuat anak-anak mau belajar, gitu ya. Ada musik, ada song, gitu ya, digunakan. This method developed out of belief that human brain could process great quantities of material given the right condition of learning, like relaxation. Jadi anak-anak harus dibuat menjadi relax, gitu ya, agar bisa belajar. Jadi ada soft music, ya. Jadi learners were encouraged to be as childlike as possible. Ada comfortable seat, jadi tempat duduknya harus nyaman, kadang-kadang pakai karpet gitu, kadang-kadang pakai sofa gitu ya. Jadi situasinya dibuat tidak seperti classroom formal like gitu ya. Kemudian ada juga natural approach, ya. Natural approach ini adalah pendekatan pengajaran yang menolak pembelajaran grammar, ya. Jadi lebih pada focusing on comprehensible and meaningful practice activity, ya. Ini ada berbagai macam method lah di bawah natural approach ini, ya. Ini kan pendekatan. Kemudian ada CLT, Communicative Language Teaching. Ini adalah an approach to teach of second and foreign languages that emphasize interaction. Jadi harus ada interaksi di kelas, ya. Tidak seperti misalnya direct method, walaupun dia ngomongnya langsung tanpa translation, tanpa terjemahan, tapi tidak ada interaksi. Kalau CLT ada interaksi. Jadi anak-anak dipaksa berbicara satu sama lain, gitu ya. Dan ini ada TPR storytelling, jadi pengajaran bahasa asing, ya, dengan menggunakan cerita, ya, untuk memberikan comprehensible input, ya. Jadi the students speak and write, ya, with or through stories, ya. Nah, this is how we get started. Ada reading, bagaimana kita memulainya, gitu ya. TPR storytelling itu dimulai dengan sharing stories, ya, misalnya dengan big books. Kalian tahu big books, buku besar yang bisa dibuka, ada lembar-lembarannya, ya, besar sekali sehingga the whole class can see, ya. Kemudian children has the continuous access to well-stocked book. Jadi ada semacam kayak perpustakaan kecil di kelas di mana anak-anak bisa membaca story. Kemudian daily phonic teaching, diajarkan bagaimana ngomongnya phonetically correct, gitu ya. Kemudian choosing quality text and offering a wide variety of text including poetry and non-fiction. Ada juga weekly storytelling session, ya. Ada continuously making text great, fun and exciting. Ini adalah salah satu cara untuk mengajarkan dengan metode storytelling, ya. Ya. I think we already reached the end of document. So this is actually what included in the first topic. Yeah. So I really hope you understand about my explanation, and then it helps you to write your 200 words summary. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much.